Oh!
Still don't want to do that again.
But you gotta overcome it.
What does that mean?
It's not good to have something bad happen and then give up. When something bad happens, you have to try again.
The thing is, when I hit my stomach...
Yeah, it knocked the wind out of you. That's what happens is you have this part of yours right here. It's called the solar plexus. And when you hit it, it knocks the wind out of you.
What does that mean?
It means just what happened. You know how you're like, ugh. That's what it means.
More than I have, you think?
All these guys, the guys that are really good, they've fallen a lot and they keep trying. You got it. You got it. Nice, Enzo. Nice. So I'm aware that that video maybe makes me seem a little bit intense as a father, but I'm super proud of it because I just so deeply believe that resiliency, grit, perseverance, whatever you want to call it, the ability to overcome challenges, to face distress and move through it, I think that quality is key to anybody's success, and I am hell-bent on cultivating that in my kids. All right, what is this?
No pit toilet, so we gotta get a wag bag.
Wait,
you have to shit in a bag.
Yeah, you have to.
Then you gotta carry your own shit out.
I feel like this is not what we talked about on our...
No, it's not. This is brand new.
Resealable?
How are we feeling about this? How's everybody feeling about this?
I want a new tour director.
This is brand new to me.
Black Canyon, Colorado. Every year I do a fly fishing trip here with my cousin, with family, and I will tell you, every year I dread it. Like, I just think about the effort it takes to pack up, the effort it takes to drive here. It's a 5-hour drive. The effort it takes to drive to hike down the mountain. It takes us 3+ hours to hike in. Got to camp here. I'm crapping in a bag. I mean, it's just, I always dread it. And every year, I'm always so happy I'm here. And it just makes me think about, like, grit. Not that being here and fly fishing is in any way gritty, but I know that I had to force myself to come down this canyon. I had to force myself to cold camp. I gotta push myself a little bit so that I can experience this. It just makes me think about our society and our, like, are we gritty? Or do people push themselves enough to experience the great things in life? Or are we too comfortable? Do we just sort of default to a more relaxed, comfortable life, but one that's understimulating, one that's not as beautiful? There's an issue with this idea of grit, and that's why I'm doing this. This is why it's important. In 2013, Angela Duckworth gave an incredible TED Talk about the value of grit, and I think she effectively sold to the world, to the general population, that grit is predictive of success, and that we as parents should be putting our kids in positions to develop grit. And then in 2016, she published a best-selling book titled Grit, again, selling to the world that grit was incredibly important. But over the last 5 years, academics have pushed back pretty hard on Angela's work and the concept of grit, saying that grit's not nearly as important as creating support systems for people that are facing challenges. And I don't think they really have a problem with the idea of grit or even Angela's methodology. I think that the pushback is driven by the current cultural zeitgeist. Over the last decade, there has been a push towards sensitivity, individual differences, tolerance, right? Which I think is incredibly important. But as it relates to grit, I think that's led to errors in thinking. It does not have to be one or the other. You can believe in grit, you can value resiliency and grit, and also believe in creating the support system and infrastructure so that everybody can be successful. Those two things are distinct and they can coexist. Of course, if somebody is facing challenges that are truly insurmountable, they need the support system, they need the infrastructure, they need the ability, they need the opportunity to be successful. But that's not what grit is about. Grit is about developing the perseverance to work through and conquer manageable challenges. You can develop grit by facing reasonable failures and coming out the other side. And with that understanding, I think it's our responsibility as parents and as people to build that grit muscle so that we have the self-confidence and personal agency to show resilience and perseverance when we face challenges in the future. Look, just broke my line off. It was a freaking monster. I went like 40 feet down the river just trying to rein that thing in, and I was fumbling with my phone. Freaking YouTuber.